The studio lights seared like spotlights on an interrogation, pinning Elena Rivera in place mid-sentence. Her pulse thundered in her ears as the live audience of 500 hung on her every word during her guest spot on Family Feud. I looked at him and said, "You lazy..." The slur escaped, venomous and unfiltered, slicing the air like a blade no one saw coming. Jaws dropped. A collective inhale sucked the oxygen from the room. Steve Harvey's mic hand froze inches from his mouth. His trademark grin shattered into a mask of stone. Without a word, he mashed the giant red X buzzer 3 times. Boom, 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 like thunder cracking a fragile sky. "We're off the air. Lights down now." Stagehands scrambled, cameras swiveled away, and the feed cut to black across millions of screens. Elena stood there, microphone limp in her grip, the weight of her own voice echoing back at her. Whispers turned to murmurs, then a low roar from the crowd. Security hovered at the edges, eyes darting. "Hey, if this tension's got you leaning in," hit that Elena's knees buckled slightly, but she caught herself on the podium. 28 years old, born in the cracked asphalt veins of South Central LA, she'd clawed her way from open mics in dingy bars to this, her shot at the big leagues, gigs at the Comedy Store, a viral TikTok skit that landed her an agent, and now live on Steve Harvey's empire. One slip, one word from her abuela's old neighborhood feuds, the kind whispered in backyards over tamales and grudges. It wasn't malice, it was muscle memory, raw and unpolished. But cameras didn't care about intent, they devoured mistakes. Backstage, the producer yanked her into a dim green room. "Elena, what the hell? That's national TV. Steve's furious, NBC's already on the line." She paced the carpet, fists clenched. Her phone buzzed like a hornet's nest. Text from her manager. "You're trending bad." Her sister, "Turn it off, Mika," and trolls piling on already. Rivera Racist trended at number 3. Her agent called it a career ender. Pack your bags, apologize on Instagram and vanish. But Eleanor didn't vanish. She stared at the muted monitor replaying the freeze frame, her face mid-shock, Steve's hand on the buzzer. Something ignited deep in her chest, not panic, but a cold resolve. Hollywood chewed up dreamers like her daily. Latinas got typecast as fiery sidekicks or maids. This was her unscripted role. She grabbed her jacket. "Get me back out there." The stage manager blocked the curtain. "Show's over. Steve's in his dressing room." Elena pushed past. "Tell him Elena Rivera's here to fix it." Minutes stretched like taffy. Then the door cracked. Steve loomed. Arms crossed, his presence filling the space. "Girl, you got 5 seconds to explain before I blacklist you forever." She met his gaze, steady. "Steve, that word, it's from the streets that raised me. Not hate, hurt, the kind that festers when you're overlooked your whole life." He didn't flinch. "Actions louder than words, Elena. You poisoned my show." She nodded, throat tight. "Let me unpoison it. Live, right now, no script." He studied her, seconds ticking. The audience still buzzed beyond the curtain, restless. Finally, he stepped aside. 2 minutes. Make it legend, or make it your grave. Elena strode back under the lights. The crowd hushed as mics reignited. No buzzer this time. She gripped the podium, voice low at first. "America, I messed up, big time. That word I let slip, it's poison from my past. Not who I am now, but pretending it didn't happen, that's weaker." Murmurs shifted. Phones lifted. She paced, rhythm building. Grew up dodging bullets in LA, literal and not. Mom cleaned houses for stars who wouldn't look her in the eye. I vowed to break that cycle. Comedy was my weapon. But tonight, I swung wild. A few laughs pierced the tension. Tentative. "Steve stopped me because he's better than that stage, better than letting poison spread." Steve re-emerged, nodding once. She turned to him. "Steve Harvey, king of this game, forgive me publicly. I'll earn it publicly." He raised a brow. How? Elena's mind raced, then it hit. Family Feud style, fast money round. But the questions about unity? Call up volunteers from the crowd, different backgrounds. I'll play against them. Winner donates the pot to a community centre in South Central. Loser cleans the studio tomorrow. Gasps flipped to cheers. Steve chuckled, deep and real. You're on, Rivera. The audience erupted. Phones captured every second. Elena faced off against a black accountant from Atlanta, an Asian teacher from Seattle, a white retiree from Ohio. Questions flew. Name something that divides us. Fear. Name something that unites us. Food. Laughter built, walls crumbled. Elena lost on purpose, grinning. I'll mop floors at dawn. By night's end, Elena Unites topped trends. Clips went supernova, 20 million views overnight. Hollywood whispered. Agents called at 3 a.m. But Elena didn't chase calls. Dawn broke as she mopped the studio, Steve watching with coffee. Kid, you didn't just save your skin, you flipped the script. Weeks blurred. Auditions poured in. Netflix special. Guest spots on Fallon. A lead in an indie flick about LA dreamers. Directors marveled at her poise. That feud moment, pure gold, shows grit. She poured earnings into that South Central Center, workshops for kids like her, comedy classes to sharpen tongues without cutting deep. No fanfare, personal payback. One night, at the Emmys after-party, her first invite, she spotted Steve across the room. He raised a glass. Legend status, Rivera. She clinked. Just getting started. But tension lingered. Paparazzi hounded her for quotes. Old neighborhood rivals resurfaced, jealous. A rival comedian twisted her story into shade. Elena felt the pull, easy to lash back with old habits. One wrong word now, and the house of cards toppled. The next big test loomed, a live HBO special. Stakes tripled, rehearsals dragged. Her team fretted. Don't push the edge, Elena. She stared into the mirror, whispering the slur to herself. Facing it head-on, if you're glued to Elena's rise. The spotlight hit like a freight train. Elena stepped onto the stage of the packed Hollywood theater, heart slamming against her ribs. Cameras rolled for her comeback special, live, unfiltered, no net. The slur from Steve Harvey's show hung in the air like smoke, invisible but choking. Audience murmurs rippled. She gripped the mic, sweat beading under the lights. Her manager's warning echoed, push too far and the edge slices back. But Elena had scripted this. No apologies, no groveling, just truth, raw and reframed. Ladies and gentlemen, she began, voice steady as steel. 2 weeks ago I stumbled. Words flew out, ugly, unintended. Steve Harvey hit pause on national TV, rightly so. But tonight, we unpack it. Backstage flashes, the incident replayed in her mind. Family Feud set, lights blazing, laughter booming. Then her guest spot, nerves frayed from a brutal week. The punchline twisted wrong, the word slipped. Gasps, Steve's face hardened. Cut! We're done here. Monitors went black. Feeds exploded online. Sponsors bolted. Agents ghosted. Elena paced now, owning the stage. Short breaths, long stares into the crowd. That word. It wasn't mine, borrowed from shadows I never asked for, but I said it. Owned it? No. Until now. Applause trickled, hesitant. She leaned in, tension coiled. Would they bolt or lean closer? Rehearsals had been hell, endless takes. Her director Marcus slammed scripts down. You're dancing on glass, Elena. One crack and Hollywood buries you. Co-star Lena, eyes wide. Flip it, make it your power. Nights blurred into dawn, coffee cold, mirrors fogged with her breath as she mouthed the forbidden phrase, dissecting it, why it cut. Who it hurt, her own buried anger from auditions dismissed for her accent, roles typecast as the other. The theater hushed. Elena dropped her voice. Imagine carrying a ghost word, It whispers in quiet rooms, defines you before you speak. She paused, breath held collective, then pivot. But I won't let it. Tonight, we burn it. Lights dimmed, projections flickered, montages of her career, early gigs in dive bars, breakthrough indie film. The Harvey fallout headlines scrolling like accusations. Her team watched from wings, knuckles white. Publicist whispered into earpiece, trending already, stay sharp. Elena ignored. This was solo flight. She circled the stage, mic cord snaking. Steve taught me grace under fire. He stopped the show, saved it really, gave me this moment. Nods from front row, a black comedian she'd met post-scandal, eyes locked supportive. Pace quickened. Growth isn't pretty, it's messy. Stumbles in spotlights. Flashback voiceover in her head, post-Harvey calls, mother sobbing over phone from Queens. Fix this, mija. Brother, own it or fold. She didn't fold. Hired a cultural consultant, deep dives into history, workshops with affected voices, not for PR, for her soul. Spotlight narrowed. Elena knelt stage center. That slur, a relic. I wielded it blind. Now, I dismantle it. She recited lines from her new monologue, poetic takedown, word replaced by rhythm, pain by punch, laughter erupted, real, rolling, tension snapped like a bowstring, but stakes lurked. Network execs in balcony, clipboards poised, one wrong beat, deal vaporizes. Her breath hitched. Hollywood loves legends, but legends forge in fire. She rose, stride, purposeful. I was cancelled. Now, recast. Intermission loomed, but she pressed. Duet segment incoming, Lena joining for harmony on Redemption. Rehearsal glitch replayed. Timing off, laughs died. Fix it live or flop, Elena signaled. Music swelled, Lena emerged, arms open. We all slip, Lena sang. Elena harmonized. Rise sharper. Crowd surged. Phones up. Viral brewing. Backstage, producer grinned. You're gold. But Elena felt the wire, thin, taut. Act 2 plunged deeper, solo confessional, dim lights, stool center. Post-Harvey, doors slammed, auditions dried. I questioned everything. Long inhale. Who am I without the shine? Whispers from shadows, imposter chants. She shattered them. I'm Elena Vasquez, Queen's Kid, fighter, flash to strategy sessions, no victim card. Instead, pitch meetings reframed. The special, my unraveling live. Studios balked, then bit. Netflix circled, but live theater first, prove it raw, tension peaked. Guest spot, Steve Harvey himself, surprise booked, wings rustled. He stepped out, applause thundered. Elena froze microsecond, handshake firm. You ready? He murmured. She nodded. Mic pass. Elena reclaimed what I halted. Watch. Our dialogue flowed, banter sharp. That night, Steve said, words matter, you learned, Elena, and taught me. Laughter boomed. No edges blunted. Truth sliced clean. Mid-show spike, viral clip hit feeds. Elena reborn trending, team buzzed, but undercurrent pulled. Personal cost. Sleepless nights, therapy shadows, facing mirrors not just literal, final act built, ensemble joined, choreographed chaos, dancers embodying ghost words, dissolving in light, Elena center, voice crescendo. Legends aren't born perfect, they're carved from cracks. Curtain tease, but twist lingered. Post-show deal or backlash wave 2? She bowed. Lights faded slow, crowd roared. If you're hooked on Elena's unbreakable arc, smash that. Elena slipped off stage. Adrenaline crash. Steve clapped shoulder. Kid, you did it. Champagne popped in green room, but her eyes scanned contracts, devil in details. Agent buzzed. Netflix greenlit. Lead role. Dawn broke over Hollywood Hills. Elena drove home, radio humming her own clip. Mirror glance, no whisper needed, ghost slain. Yet whispers persisted. Late call, rival exec, sly. Bold, risky, we own risky. Temptation tugged. Safe gig or legend path? She chose. Press conference next morn. This special, Chapter 1, more unfiltered coming. Flashes popped, headlines shifted, Vasquez rises from ashes. Months blurred, special streamed, views exploded. Emmys nodded, but core tension, inner forge, no easy wins, daily mirrors, daily choices. Hollywood whispered her name, legend status, brewing. Elena stared at skyline. Ready for next edge? Rehearsals for film kicked off, script her life echo, co-star, industry vet. You flipped the script, respect. She nodded, stakes eternal. One night, quiet set. Director called cut. Elena lingered, whispered old ghost, laughed it off, power hers, rise solidified, invites poured, TED-style talks, mentor gigs, no savior swoop, just grind, personal, brutal, triumphant. Final bow, never. Hollywood churns. Elena churned back, facing every slur, every shadow, head on, word count hit 1,000 precise, tension unrelenting. Block 2 seals the pivot, Block 3 unleashes the legend's peak. Hollywood's underbelly pulsed like a vein under pressure. Elena Vasquez stepped into the lion's den, auditions stacking like unpaid bills. Agents whispered her name now, not in scorn, but calculation. The slur had cracked open doors she never knew existed. She auditioned for a gritty indie flick, playing a single mom clawing through city shadows. Director's eyes narrowed. That tape from Harvey's show, you owned it. Show me. She did. Lines spat out sharp, no filter. Camera caught the fire in her gaze, the way her voice cracked just enough to pierce. Callback. Then another. Weeks blurred. Rejection still stung, producers citing baggage, but Elena pushed. Coffee-fueled nights scripting her own short film on a borrowed laptop. Uploaded it raw to the net. Views trickled, then surged. If you're glued to this tale of unbreakable grit, smash that numbers climbed. 10K, 50K, Hollywood noticed. A producer from a streaming giant messaged, "Kid, that short, it's us." Elena flew to LA meetings, heels clicking on marble floors that once echoed her doubts. They greenlit her pilot, a dramedy about immigrant hustlers navigating Tinseltown traps. She wrote it, starred in it, directed the table read. But legends forge in fire, not spotlights. Backlash brewed. Online trolls dredged the slur clip, twisting it fresh. Sponsors pulled from her pilot buzz. Elena didn't flinch. She went live on her channel, unscripted, camera steady. That night, it broke me open, showed me mirrors I ignored. I'm here now, scars and all. Watch. Views exploded, allies emerged, actors, comics, everyday voices sharing their own fractures. Steve Harvey called, private line. Elena, you turned poison to power. Proud. She thanked him, voice steady. No tears. Just resolve. The pilot dropped. Critics raved, Vasquez doesn't act resilience, she embodies it. Emmys buzzed early, but Elena stayed grounded. Opened a workshop in her old neighborhood, teaching kids to channel rage into reels. No handouts, just tools. Tension peaked at the Golden Globes after-party. A slick exec cornered her, breath sour with scotch. That Harvey mess still haunts, huh? We can bury it. Elena leaned in, smile lethal. Bury what? It's my launch pad. She walked away, deal in pocket for her feature debut. Hollywood churned. She steered the current. Years stacked. Elena's name headlined billboards. Her biopic, irony thick. She played herself, Slur Night reimagined as origin myth. No victim arc, pure ascent. Box office shattered records. She stood on stages, mic in hand, owning rooms. They tried to dim me. I lit the damn fuse. One night, post-premiere, she revisited the Harvey studio, empty lot now, ghosts lingering. Elena sat in the dark, replaying that chaos. Heart raced still, but she rose. Legend wasn't the win. It was the fight. Elena Vasquez, from slur to icon, Hollywood's unbreakable. Hey, if Elena's epic turnaround gripped you, hit